Howdy! How's everybody out there in YouTube land? I hope this finds you well. It's time for another exciting episode, and that's why I'm still single. I can't make this stuff up. Now, last episode was one of my stories about the Ham Radio Club. I've got another one for you. Every year we'd have a picnic in the summertime, and so we'd get on the radio and talk it up. Folks that come onto our channel, we tell them, hey, this is time, place, and all this, that we're going to have this picnic, and we'd appreciate it if you show up. There'll be food there. Everybody brought some food. Bring whatever you want to drink. I supplied the paper plates and the plastic utensils and cups and all that kind of thing, So, this one fella says that he'd like to come, he'd love to come, but he didn't have any transportation. And I said, well, we could probably have somebody bring you if you'd really like to come. Now, I didn't know this fella from anybody, And he says, yeah, he said, that'd be okay. You have somebody that could pick me up. It's not too much trouble. I said, sure. Well, there was a fella that was a retired police officer, didn't live too far away from him. And so I got in touch with him. I said, hey, would you mind picking him up and bringing him to the meeting? Taking him back home after the meeting. He says, oh, no. He says, that wouldn't be any problem at all. I said, now, I don't know this guy. I said, so you're kind of on your own. But I figure you're a retired police officer. You know how to handle him if he's some kind of problem. And he says, well, okay. So the day comes, I'm out there at the park. I have plates and everything set up. People bringing food in, and everybody's enjoying themselves. And I see this fellow pull in, this retired officer, and him and his wife get out of the car, and this guy gets out of the back, and he is, right off the bat, first thing I see is he's got this long, greasy, matted up hair. He's wearing an American flag shirt. And I don't mean, that it's off the rack. I'm talking about he had taken an American flag and made a shirt out of the American flag, and he's got it on his body. Now, most of the fellas in this amateur radio club are veterans. I'm the widow of a veteran. And where I come from, showing disrespect to the American flag by wearing it as article of clothing is a disgrace. And then he starts up through this field, and he's just hopping and skipping, and this is a grown man, for goodness sake. We're not talking about a little kid. And I'm like, what on earth is wrong with this dude? So he gets up there, and he smelled so bad. He had not had a bath in who knows how long. And everybody is trying to be polite to him, even though they're really put off about not only the odor he's putting off, but he's wearing the American flag. Then some of the guys had some beer in their coolers. This guy had brought nothing with him. Nothing. And I'm thinking, well, he's a guest. Sometimes guests don't understand they're supposed to bring, whatever it is that they want to drink. And so I told him, well, that, there's some 2-liter bottles of pop up there on the table if you want some pop. And he says, well, what I'd really like to have is a beer. Well, I didn't bring any alcohol. I'm not a teetotaler, but I, not into drinking all that much either. I might have a glass of wine once every 4 or 5 years. That's about my extent of drinking. But he said, I'd really like to have a beer. Well, some of the guys had some beer in their coolers. And this one says, go ahead, help yourself there. Well, he downs one, and then he downs another, and before you know it, he's drunk all the beer that this guy took with him. And everybody else is, just stopped drinking their beer because they see that this guy's going to be totally inebriated. And that, they're not going to do anything to encourage him any further. Well, we get through the meeting, and I apologized to the police officer I had bring him. I said, I had no idea. And he said, well, I know you didn't. You didn't know who he was either. He says, fella's got some problems. I said, yeah, he does. So I waited a couple days. I try not to be judgmental about people, but there's a time where you have to draw the line on things, So I got in touch with him because, if he was going to try to be part of our group, he needed to know that, there were some things that we just couldn't overlook. So I told him, I said, look, you know, we appreciate you coming to the meeting and all, but right off the bat, you're in the middle of a bunch of retired veterans, and I'm a widow of a veteran, and I said, you know, wearing an American flag as article of clothing is taboo, dude. And of course, he goes on the defense immediately about, well, you know, it's my right, blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, well, you know, you have to understand, too, that these guys put their life on the line for your right to do that. And you need to show a little bit of respect. And I said, the other thing that really was offensive to us is that you smell bad, dude. I don't know if anybody else hadn't had the guts to tell you that or what, but you need a bath. I mean, if nothing else, if you don't have shower facilities, you need to find some, or get out in a good rainstorm with a bar of soap or something, because Lord have mercy. Your body odor is offensive. Nobody wants to be around somebody that smells that bad. And I said, you also have a drinking problem. And if you need some assistance with that, I'm sure that I could give you some phone numbers and some places to call to get yourself some help. I said, but, you know, you're welcome to come back if you want to clean up your act a little bit. But, you know, we just, you know, we can't put up with you coming in and being disrespectful and not showing any respect for yourself as well. I hated having to do something like that, but, you know, sometimes you got to step in and say something to somebody. If not for your own respect, but, you know, for their respect for themselves as well. He didn't come back to any more meetings. He talked on the radio a few times, but Lord have mercy. Things like that. That's why I'm still single.